Hello everybody, today I will be doing my Rainbow-Read-a-thon Wrap-Up. This was a week-long readathon. It started on June 15th and went until June 21st. This readathon was a very casual readathon and I found out about it the day before it started. That's why I didn't do a TBR video, but I did post a picture on my Instagram for my TBR. If you would like to check that out, link is down below. So this readathon was pretty simple. You picked one book for each color of the rainbow and then tried to read as many as you could. And I ended up reading a yellow book, which was Gloria O'Brien's History of the Future by A.S. King. Don't worry, it's yellow. It is the most yellow of yellows. And I started reading this on the first day and got about halfway through it. And then I finished it on day 2. I believe I gave this 3.5 stars on Goodreads. I could be wrong. This is the story about a girl named Gloria who is a senior in high school. She ends up, I'm not going to give away how it happens, but she ends up starting to be able to see the future when she looks at people. So then she learns all kinds of crazy information and what her destiny is. This book was okay. It was my first introduction to A.S. King. I didn't love it, but I did really enjoy the future bits versus what was actually happening. So the magical realism part was very good, but the rest of it kind of was lacking for me. Next, I read my blue book, which was The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. This has been on my TBR for quite a while. If you've been following me on here for a while, you'll know this was one of my first book haul books. This is a book about a boy named Nobody Owens who grows up in a graveyard being taken care of by ghosts and a man named Silas who isn't alive or dead, kind of a supernatural creature. And each chapter feels like a short story in nobody's life. That sounds weird, but that's his name. But they all kind of go together, and I thought it was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, and I would highly recommend it. Every time I was like, oh, I could stop here, and then I start the next chapter, and then I kept reading, and then I finished it. And this took me day 3 and day 4 to read. And that brings my page count with these 2 books up to 614 pages. They are both 307 each. And the last book I read during the readathon was my green book, which is all green on the spine and quite green on the cover, and that is Please Ignore Vera Dites by A.S. King. I read 2 A.S. King books this readathon. Maybe I shouldn't have read them so closely together because I didn't enjoy this one all that much. I did end up giving it 3 stars, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Gloria O'Brien. It just kind of felt a little all over the place for me. It is about a girl named Vera who loses her former best friend. We don't find out how he dies until like the very end. So this whole time you have no idea how he dies, and then what the mystery surrounding his death is, you don't know that either. It changes point of view pretty often considering it is a 330-page book, which is between Vera, her dad, and Charlie, who is her former best friend, and between Vera's present and her past. So yeah, a lot going on. A.S. King is very famous for her magical realism elements in her books, but this one, it wasn't as clear of what actually was going on between Gloria O'Brien's History of the Future and this one wasn't as clear cut. And like I said, I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. Probably not something I'm gonna reread anytime soon. And I read this between day 5 and day 6. After reading this one, I wasn't really in the reading mood, so I didn't read anything on day 7. So overall, I read 3 3 books, which totaled to 940 pages, which is pretty good because I usually don't read that much in a week, even though I did only read 3 short books. So in the end, I read the middle of the rainbow. I still think I did pretty well. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will have another video up soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye!